Hi, this is the third part of Raglan sweater video, the sleeves. You can look for links to the Raglan part and body part at the end of this video. And now let's go and have some fun. I will go and move now on knitting my sleeve. What I will have to do is I have to move some of these stitches from one needle and some of the stitches from this needle onto my third needle, because I will, we need to knit in rounds. Okay, I moved 7 stitches on this needle, and I will move now 7 stitches from this needle. 2, 3, 4, and we will start here on the bottom. Now we have to make sure that we do not have really any holes in here, so I will start here in the middle and pick up the stitches along this edge, and then when I knit one row I will pick up stitches along this edge. This will be my first stitch, and I will finish over there. I hope you can see that. Okay, so right here I will stitch and I will pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, and perhaps over here, because I don't want this to, you see how stretchy this yarn is? Don't want it to be so, so if I would pick up over here, it would create big holes, so I will pick up bit in these spots, but it's not going to be such big problem. Okay, so let's do that. And I'm gonna go and take a actually hook to help me. So like I said, here is the middle, so I will go right there. Right there. You see, it's not gonna make any hole there. So that's gonna be our, is this long enough? Yeah. So that's one, and this is another one here. Yep, somewhere in here. Okay. And then I set one here. Let's go here into this one. So that's 4. I mean 3. I cannot count anymore, right? This is 4, and this is right there. Right underneath this one here, I will go and make one more. Let me see, it's kind of stretchy right here. Let's do it like this, yeah. And now I will move these stitches onto my needle. Actually, no, we need to go and move it, put it onto this needle. Let's put it on this needle. Here we will have one extra needle here. Okay. So I picked up 5 stitches here, and then I will have to pick up 5 stitches along this edge. Okay, and now we can go and start knitting with my 5th needle. Okay, just knit entire row. Okay, I finished my row over here, and we still need to pick up our 5 stitches right there, right? And so I know that I started right there, so this was our middle, so this would be one of the stitches that we need to pick. Okay, then this stitch, so this is 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. I cannot count today. Okay, so one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. Okay, so, but because we're coming from this side, we will start here with this one. So just like on the other side here when I picked right there, no, right here, I will pick right here. This is like a mirror image, okay? So I will pick one stitch here. Okay, I send one stitch here. Oh, that's it, yeah. Then this one here. One stitch here. One stitch here. I don't think you can see because I'm casting shadow there. One stitch here, and we still have this one and this one here. So one stitch here and one stitch here, and that should be 5 stitches. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and actually what I will do, because this is our new beginning, okay, we are going to move these stitches on this needle. Okay, and these stitches I decided to move on this needle right here. Okay. So we knitted actually 1. So mark it 1. That's first row that we have finished knitting. Okay, now we will knit 6 more rows, altogether 7 rows, and in our 8th row we will decrease. We will knit 2 together. Okay, I finished my 7 rows, and just wanted to show you also how it looks under the arm. Looks pretty good, doesn't have too many big huge holes, although this is very stretchy yarn, but looks good. Very happy with the outcome. We will decrease by knitting these 2 together, and then we will knit 8th row, and then we will start our 7 row section again. So let me finish this row plus 7 rows, and then I will see you. I knitted my 7 rows from this decrease, okay, and now this is the row where I need to decrease again. And since I told you last time that my first decrease was on this needle right here, these first 2 stitches, this next decrease is going to be last 2 stitches in my 8th row. Here we go. Let's go and knit all this, and I will see you when I am knitting other 2 stitches together. Just like I said, I finished my 8th row, and these are my last 2 stitches, and we will knit them 2 together. Okay, and I am finished with my 8th row, which is actually 16th row, and now I will be knitting 7 rows all around. Okay, and then in my 24th row, which will be my 8th row again, I will decrease again. Okay, so oh, also I wanted to mention, you remember when we added those 5 stitches here and 5 stitches there? So we had basically 48 stitches plus 10 stitches, 58. So when I increased when I decreased the first time, then I had on my needles 57 stitches. Now I decreased by 1 on this needle, and I have now 56 stitches. Okay, so that's what's happening, and Also, I wanted to mention then after I knit my 7 rows, and when I will be doing my 8th row, which will be actually 24th row, I will be decreasing again on this needle, okay? And you will repeat this until you reach certain length of your sleeve. I have created this. This is kind of very easy, and hopefully this is much better way for some of you. These are my rows, okay? And this is my 8th row. 8th row is actually marked in red or pink color. And what can go and happen in this 8th row, this is where we do decreases. And I have L for left needle and R for right needle, okay? And these are how many times I did the row. So when I did row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, 5, 6, 7, I marked my 8th row decrease L. Then I did my second time around, row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I did decrease on the right. Now I did my 7 rows for the 3rd time, okay? And I am ready to mark my 8th row decrease again on my left. Okay, so that's going to be my 3rd decrease, and as I told you, we will be alternating. So now it's going to be on my left needle. Okay, so let's do this. So we decrease, and now I will just continue knitting until I finish my 8th row. Okay, so I did my 24th row, and now I'm starting my 1st row of the next repeated section. So when I'm finished my 1st row, I will mark 1. Okay, and I will see you when I have substantial length of my sleeve. As you see, I am nearly finished with my 1st sleeve. Now I still need to do at the end of my sleeve the same design that I have here at the top. Just want to let you know that I have decreased 15 times. Now we're here at this point that I have to do 1 row of purl stitches, and then I'm supposed to do 3 rows of knit stitches and bind off. And now we will do purl row, and when I am finished, I will do 2 rows of knit stitches, 1 row with a gray color, so that will be 3 rows of knit stitches, and then I will bind off. I am finished with my purl row, and now I will do 2 rows of just knit stitches. So we need to knit 2 rows. And I will see you when I am finished with my 2 rows of knit stitches. If you are knitting with only 1 shade of yarn, only 1 color yarn, not with 2 colors, then you can go and knit 3 rows. And after you knit 3 rows, you can bind off. I'm finished with my 2 rows, just like I said, and right now I will do 2 more rows, which one will be knit row and one will be bind off row. I will bind off my last row. And so if you are working, like I said, if you're working with only 1 color yarn, then you don't switch yarns. You continue knitting with your main color yarn, okay? So this is going to be my third knit row. Now we will bind off our stitches. So you first knit one stitch, knit second stitch, and pull this stitch over the second knitted stitch, and do the same thing, knit stitch and pull this stitch over, knit stitch and pull this stitch over. Okay, this was my last stitch that I bind off, and usually kind of connect it to the first stitch. Most of the time I use and I will just pull this over. That's what I do. Okay, and there we go. And we will just tighten up these stitches so we don't have a hole there. Okay, looks better. Anyway, so this is our first sleeve, and we can go and do our second sleeve. So you see how it looks? It doesn't look too bad, right? Looks more interesting, I think, at the end of the sleeve. Now it's the time to work on our second sleeve, and I just wanted to show people who use yarn to hold their stitches how to do this. Now, just like with the first sleeve, we have these two stitches that one goes to the right, left, one goes to the right, and so we need to pick up 5 stitches in here and then transfer stitches from the yarn onto my knitting needle, double pointed needle. Okay, so let me see again. So this one belongs to the right side, this one to the left side, so this is gonna be our starting point, and this stitch will be our end point. First stitch and last stitch. Okay, so we will cast on 5 stitches here. So this is 1, then here is my second, 3, 4, and my last stitch, that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we will transfer these stitches to my DPN, double pointed needle, or you can do it, you can transfer your stitches to circular needles. There. And I need to go and distribute my stitches fairly evenly. I forgot, it was like it will be 58 stitches, so it's gonna be almost 20 stitches for each needle. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, and now you grab that yarn in between and just pull it out. Okay, I'm here at the last stitch and I wanted to point something out. This is being stretched and is pulling, so just to make sure that you go and get the right stitch. You see, I was getting the stitch below it, but you don't want to do that. You want to get the right stitch over here, this one. Okay, so you need to actually grab this end of the yarn and this end of the yarn, pull it out a little bit, and then pull it up so you can see this stitch, and put your double pointed needle through it. Once you have it there, you just can go and pull the yarn out, and you have it done correctly. Okay, now we need to cast on 5 more stitches. So like before, we went with 1 stitch. Oh, actually what we need to do is first, I did not do it the best way, but we can fix it. So we need to move these stitches here, because, let me see, 5 stitches, yes, 5 stitches, because we need to knit these stitches first. So this is how we will do it. So I moved my first 5 stitches to the knitting, working a double pointed needle, and now we will knit all the stitches. See, because I need this yarn to cast on these stitches, that's why we need to knit all these stitches. And this is our first row. Okay, like I said, we need to cast on 5 stitches. So this is our first stitch, this is our second stitch, that's 2. Here is gonna be our third stitch. You just pull it through, right, and you move it onto the needle. That's 3. This is 4 right here. And in this last, you remember that stitch, the last stitch, that's gonna be our 5th there. Okay, and we have 5 stitches here, 5 stitches there, and we are starting to knit our second row. And from now on you will do exactly everything the same way as you did the first sleeve. So if you need to go and follow the directions, you can replay my video starting at the sleeve. Okay, here is the outcome, and although this is a third video, my sleeves were finished before the body part, which is in video number 2. My daughter inherited this sweater and she loves her long sleeves and cropped look. Anyway, so again, I want to thank you all for your support, for kind words, and mostly thank you for watching my homemade videos. And I hope to see you very, very soon. And come again, because I will be making more videos. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And again, thank you, and again, thank you.